For this assignment, you'll need a pencil and a piece of paper. You should be able to look at your screen and see a picture of these pears and apple. And if you need to, you can print it out. Otherwise, you can just look at your screen. So we've got this picture, and we're going to do what's called a cross contour line drawing. So you've done a lot of contour line drawings, which is just a basic outline. Now we're going to do some lines that go across the surface of the objects, just as a little bit of a descriptor so you can actually see the forms. So we're going to start by doing a contour line drawing just to get the outlines of these objects on our paper. And if you look at these pears, you can see there's a circle right here and then this triangular shape that goes off. And the apple itself is pretty much just a circular shape. So don't trace, please. Just use your pencil. Draw lightly. I'm going to start with the circles. I'm going to start with the 3 fruit that are in front. And as I observe this, I notice that this triangle is not exactly center. It's just slightly off center. So I'm going to put it slightly off center. This apple is a little thicker towards the top. There's this spot right here where the stem comes up. I guess I can put these stems on as well. Okay, now I'm going to look at these pears. These 2 pears on the left back are going at an axis like this, and they're behind the pears in front. So I could draw the whole circle and then just erase. I'm just going to draw like this and add that triangular shape. I notice that it's a little bit to the left of the top center of here, so I'm a little bit to the left. And this stem starts about where the big part of this stem right here is. So I'm going to do that. This pear right here, just big circular shapes, drawn it super lightly. The circular shape itself comes above the top of the front pear, so I need to make sure I do that. And then it goes to the left, crosses the stem right about there. It has a stem that comes up. I can go back and darken things in once I feel comfortable with how they look. This pear on the right goes directly straight up. And the stem goes slightly to the left. So I've got the outlines of my pears, but right now they look really flat. They don't look like they have any sort of form. And our brain can look at the shape and say, oh yeah, those are pears, they're 3-dimensional. But we're going to do an exercise to really make them look 3-dimensional. I'm just going to erase everything on the inside of these pears. I actually found a pear, nice old small little pear that I didn't really care about, and I drew some lines on. I want you to pay close attention as I rotate this. See how that line goes straight down? As I move it, it starts to curve. If I stopped right here and you were drawing that line, you would draw a curved line. And it gets more curvy the further it goes to the left or to the right. So that's important to know as you draw the cross contour lines on an object. You really have to pay attention to the surface. It's almost like a little bug was crawling across here and I had a marker tied to its butt and the marker just dragged as it went along. Okay, so as you fill in the cross contour lines on these pears, where you're looking straight on, that line basically goes straight up and down. You can go ahead and just do straight up and down. One line on each of those. Then as it goes outwards, it starts to follow the contour of the object and it'll curve. And when it hits the bump of the sphere right here, it really curves. Then as we get further out, it's curving even more. So a slight curve towards the middle, and then more of a curve along the outside. Then as you put lines going across, I do want you to do some horizontal lines. We're just going to do a slight curve, a slight smile going across, okay? Follow the same thing on the rest of these pairs where the lines get super curvy towards the outside. And they're curvy towards the middle, but not quite as curvy. And a way to gauge this line should be really curvy, but not more curvy than the outside line, because that is the most curvy part of it. So just slightly less curvy than the outside right there. Now the apple has an interesting spot because we've got this divot in the top where the stem comes out of. So that means if there were a bug crawling out of this, that bug would have to come up and over that edge before it goes down. Up and over and up and over. As it was going out this way, it would go straight up and over here, straight up, and then curves, and curves that way. So everything comes into this divot. Then we'll do some smileys across. You could even do a smiley all the way around to the top. Okay, you don't need to do any shading on these. It's just about the cross contour lines. Isn't it amazing how we started with these really flat shapes, and by adding these curved lines, really makes them look like three-dimensional forms. It gives us that nice illusion. Okay, complete your drawing, take a picture of it, submit it on Canvas for grading.